Okay, dear colleagues, we're now starting to talk about our enlargement opinions. And I would like to ask the rapporteur, Gillian Coughlan, to the floor to present your opinion for 5 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Deputy President. Good morning, dear colleagues. I sit before you this morning as rapporteur on the 2025 enlargement package for the Western Balkans and Türkiye to discuss an issue of paramount importance: the European Union's future and its expansion to include the Western Balkans and Türkiye. We're not just talking about the accession of countries into a union. We are talking about the values we uphold, the future we share, the very survival of this European project in a rapidly changing world. The enlargement package was adopted on the 5th of November 2025. In the 5 months that has passed since then, the world around us has continued to shift dramatically. The stability of multilateralism is increasingly uncertain. We see a regression in the rule of law, attacks on democracy, as well as increased centralisation efforts even within the European Union, and the risk that this would spread to other countries. The Russian invasion of Ukraine has entered its 4th year. Russia continues to launch heavy missiles and continues with drone strikes on Ukrainian cities. This shows the deep vulnerabilities in our European neighbourhood. But that's not all. A few days ago, the world saw a dramatic escalation in the Middle East as US and Israeli forces launched coordinated strikes on Iran. This marked the most significant military intervention in the region for years, further destabilising an already volatile part of the world. And then we have President Donald Trump's controversial Board of Peace, which has raised alarm bells. He has launched this parallel structure to the United Nations, with countries around the European Union's borders like Armenia, Azerbaijan, and even EU accession countries like Kosovo and Albania joining the initiative. This is what the EU is competing against. We must ask ourselves, what can we offer those who are willing, in this context, to still bet on multilateralism? This is the context in which I have written this opinion. The Western Balkans and Türkiye have been waiting for years for the European Union to deliver on its promises. But the EU cannot continue to make empty promises. It is time that we shift from good intentions to concrete action, one way or the other. We as the European Union need to be more self-reflective and perhaps self-critical. We need to ask why certain countries in our neighbourhoods decided to sit around Trump's table rather than to subscribe to our values. We must understand that the territories and the peoples in the Western Balkans are still carrying the burdens of the past. Economic and social uncertainty is a reality for many of them, but there is a clear majority that still believes in the European perspective for their future. These people deserve to be taken seriously, and particularly the young people. When I was there in Kosovo, the hope and aspirations of the young population there was truly tangible. Their aspirations should be part of our shared future. They should not have to resort to war or instability to put their future on the geopolitical agenda. And let us not forget, this is their right. At the same time, we must not shy away from our responsibilities. Enlargement is a merit-based process. That is very, very important, and that is how it must remain. But where there is merit, there must be a clear path. Countries seeking to join the European Union must meet their obligations, but we must meet our responsibilities in ensuring that these countries feel the benefits of membership throughout the process. That is the essence of gradual integration, a key tenet of my opinion, making the EU more tangible to citizens in the negotiating countries, improving their daily lives and fostering engagement and trust, and key, fostering democracy. We must see the big picture. We need to see that enlarging Europe is not just a privilege for these countries, it is a prerogative for the survival of the European Union. In the face of all of these external challenges, the European Union must remain united. If we fail to move forward together, we risk fragmenting our collective strength and we will all go down alone. It is easy to focus on the fine print, the small everyday details that divide us. But while we are squabbling over the minutiae, others are putting together the big picture, a puzzle in which the EU has no seat at the table. And that is a world we do not want to live in, as liberals, as democrats, as Europeans. And that is why I ask you to support this opinion. This opinion is not afraid to offer criticism where necessary. It is not afraid to offer encouragement where it's earned. It's an opinion that ensures that we, as Europe's regions, send a clear message to both the EU institutions and the EU decision-makers, representatives of European cities and regions, as well as to national and subnational governments in the accession countries, that we all have our role to play and we all need to give in order to receive. Thank you.